Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and with me tonight is my cohort, Sabina. Oh, wait, I mean co-host. Ha, ha, ha.
Ha, ha. Hello, Pam. How are you?
I'm good. Don't get electrocuted while we're doing this interview, okay?
Yeah, I'll try. I don't know.
Well, tonight we welcome actor Zach Sale, who, by the way, ladies, is really good to look at, so I would suggest looking at that picture, huh, Zipina?
Yep, very much so.
He's been on The Game, Drop Dead Diva, Vampire Diaries, and more, and most recently he's in Tyler Perry's new movie called Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor. Welcome, Zach.
What's up, ladies? Thank you.
You're welcome. How are you doing?
I am doing much better now that you said such nice things about my picture. Thank you.
I couldn't help myself, you know.
Thanks.
And Sabina is in Atlanta, Georgia, and I told her not to get electrocuted because they're having a bad storm out there right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I get a lot of family over there in Georgia, so I do know about the storm.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
yeah,
what part?
Ringgold, Georgia, it's up by Chattanooga, Tennessee. And then actually that's where I used to live, and I would drive 110 miles to Atlanta to do any auditions that would come up. So that would be a typical week. I'd probably do easily probably about 600 to 700 miles a week back and forth to Atlanta just for auditions. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Cool. A lot of driving there.
It was. I got to tell you, ladies, the craziest thing though, when I moved out to LA over a year ago, I looked at my schedule and I was like, oh wow, I only have 7.5 miles to make it to this meeting. I can leave 30 minutes before time to get there. That's totally not true in LA. In Georgia, in Georgia you can time out how long it might take for a drive to get there, but 7.5 miles in LA you need at least an hour and a half left.
With traffic and everything, right?
Yeah, and God forbid if it rains, because it rains all the time in Georgia, but it doesn't rain here. So when it rains here in L.A., no one knows what they're doing. They just take gas breaks and it's confused.
Well, I live in Chicago, so I have snow, and I have to laugh at my other co-host, Dawn. She lives in North Carolina, and if they get half an inch of snow, they're closing the streets down. And here, we're still trudging through to go to work and school and everything with 2 feet of snow.
Well, I know. Where I was in Ringgold, if like literally flurries of snow would come down to the ground, they'd cancel school for the entire county. And then, I'm from Florida. Like when we had big tornadoes come up in 2011 that just tore apart, Alabama and Georgia. It was only a couple streets away from my house that it really smashed hard. I'm sitting there, and I'm from Florida, so seeing hurricanes and seeing hurricane storms is no big deal to me. Apparently, I didn't even notice the funnel cloud that I was staring at from Walmart. And,
oh, my God.
Everyone else was walking out with candles, and and I was like, what are you doing? This is supposed to be a hurricane party. I'm getting the munchies and stuff. What's up?
That's so funny. Well, when I was going through researching about you, I read that you did character voices when you read books when you were younger. Do you still do any character voices?
Just a little bit here and there, depending on how courtly the guy might be. Or my favorite was when I used to live in Georgia, was always the real Southern accent. Just bringing out a little bit. Talk to them and tell them how much, I appreciate you, and I thank you very much for listening to what I had to say, and I hope you all give me a call back shortly. But yeah, character voices. I'm always testing my accents whenever I can. I love doing it through drive-thrus. Is my favorite.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's got to be great.
Yeah, so it's fun when you get up and you just do one you're just like, excuse me, yeah, I'd like to go ahead and order a Big Mac, but if you could put no pickles on there for me. And then you get up to the front and you're just like, hi, did you get my order? And messes them up.
And they probably think they have the wrong customer once you get up there and do that.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. What other accents do you do?
Let's see, hey, but you must ask yourself, how many lucky Irishmen sit there and walk around St. Paddy's Day without being drunk, huh?
Oh, my gosh.
James Bond, the old James Bond one, relax, many penny. My name's Pussy Galore, I must be dreaming. You know, just, whatever. I don't know, whatever.
And you taught yourself how to do these?
Yeah, I was the kid who would sit there and had no friends that would teach himself accents to have imaginary friends.
Oh my gosh.
It turned out to work, which is the main reason why I became an actor, so this way I could talk to myself out loud and no one thinks I'm crazy.
Right. And get paid for it, too.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you've been in a few of my favorite shows like Burn Notice and Drop Dead Diva, and I know a lot of people watch Vampire Diaries. Which role to date has been your favorite?
Absolute favorite is Burn Notice. It was I'm talking from the audition room until the last day of shooting. It was just awesome. It was one of the first times I ever walked in. I recognized the director, who was Jonathan Frakes of that episode. And
he's good.
Okay, you know who he is. All right.
Yes.
I was the kid who always had to record on, back when they had VHS, Star Trek The Next Generation for my dad.
Yeah.
So I knew who number one was. When I walked into that room, I was like, my heart started beating. And, I'm still pretty fresh in my acting career. It was only about 14 months into acting, and I had gone into this audition. And after I did it, he puts his arms up in the air, and he goes, "You nailed it, kid." He goes, "I don't know if we need to see anybody else." And I'm thinking either he's like a really nice guy that says this to everybody, or he really means what he's saying. And, lo and behold, I ended up booking it just like 3 hours later. They gave me a call. So
that's cool.
Oh, it was awesome. And the first day on set, I drove in with Jonathan, and we got to do some talking back and forth and just BS back and forth. And I get on set, and the first thing they tell me is, like, "All right, you're going to be driving this today." And they point at the Ferrari. And I'm like, they go, "Can you drive one of these?" I said, "Absolutely." I didn't tell them the not, which was supposed to come after the absolutely, but I just left it at absolutely. And then I get into the Ferrari, and my stunt guy sitting next to me, and he goes, "All right, put it in reverse." And I didn't know how to, and he goes, "You've never driven one, have you?"
Yeah.
I go, "No." And he goes, "That's okay." He goes, "It's the same question I ask everyone who gets in the car. That's how I know if they're lying to me or not. You passed. Let's go ahead and test drive it." So that was by far the best shoot that I've done.
And it's funny because you hear this kind of story all the time. For a person, an actor, to get a certain role, a lot of times they'll kind of mislead on what they can and cannot do. So this doesn't surprise me.
It's not kind of, definitely. We always, that's what we're after. Yeah. Just get me past the audition room and get me on set. Then you can yell at me and tell me what I don't know how to do.
Right. And did you do a lot of fanboy stuff with Jonathan, or did you compose yourself?
I did not know. I composed myself. I was lucky because there was a guy, there was a PA on set, Greg, who came up to me and goes, "Listen, don't say too much about the Star Trek stuff to Jonathan. We had somebody on set earlier in the week, and he just would not leave him alone for 2 or 3 hours. So we were no longer talking about Star Trek to Jonathan." I said, "Oh, no, I won't do that, I promise."
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell, I did talk about Evil Dead with him just because I had to.
I love him.
Yeah, he was actually great.
Tomorrow, Sabina and I are actually going to interview Seth Peterson.
Yes. All right. Great.
And I've spoken to him before, and I just absolutely adore him. And there was such a Twitter uproar when they killed him off of Burn Notice.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
All the Twitter uproar. I would imagine there would be a Twitter uproar when they killed him off. I mean, Seth is great.
Yeah. Everybody loved Nate, I mean, come on.
Whatever.
The brother that was always getting in trouble, but, not on purpose.
Well, no, but that's the relative that everybody has in their family. We all have one of those who's just always getting in trouble, and you just don't talk about it.
Right.
So how's your brother doing? Oh, he's doing good. He's doing real good. He's getting 3 hours in a cot. He's doing fine.
Yeah. Well, at least you didn't run him over.
I'm glad I didn't run anybody over, because when I was actually driving that car. I had a stunt woman following behind me at 40 miles an hour. I had the stunt director with sitting on a crotch rocket with a guy mounted to the back with a camera on the ass of this motorcycle, following in front of me and just telling me to go around as fast as I can cut around him. So I was terrified I was going to hit somebody. So I'm very glad I did not.
Oh my gosh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, Zach, who has been your favorite actor to work with so far?
Favorite actor to work with so far? I gotta say it would probably be Candice Koch, who oddly enough is from the marriage counselor. And she was just, when I came on set and I first met her. Now, I was originally in Atlanta at the time, so I had never been out to L.A. She was from L.A. So there's always that kind of feeling that new actors have when they run into, like, L.A. actors. For some reason, people think L.A. actors are elite. We were not. But, and she was just so cool. She was cool to talk to. She didn't talk to anybody down. She didn't talk down to anybody. She was always on the same level. And she was just so good at what she did. I mean, she could pop out of, like, this emotional cry, eyes swollen, runny nose scene, and then pop right into, hi, let's get some craft services.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
I'm always up for craft services. That's why I'm an actor.
Yeah.
She was just, it was just, and especially being it was so young in my career when I had done it. It was just fun to talk to her and kind of like, she kind of gave me some advice and some pointers because I was working on getting out to LA at that time. And she was just a lot of fun. So Candice Koch would be my favorite co-star thus far.
Cool. Well, I've noticed that you've taken classes in improv as well. We recently interviewed Mark Adam Smith, who's the artistic director of Gotham City Improv in New York City. And he was a lot of fun. What has helped you the most with doing those improv classes?
The cold reads. When you walk into an audition room and they've given you absolutely nothing. I just had one the other day that I had to do. And you've got a couple pages of a script. You don't know where the script's going to at all. It's a surprise to you until the very end. And using the improv, I can take a script and I can quickly look over it for a minute and then kind of throw in my own stuff. So that's really helped me taking with the improv. And also just interviews. I mean, talking to people like you guys and just going in and speaking with agents and everything. And also, I mean, improv is more than just making me be able to work out a funny sketch really quick. It also keeps me quick on my toes and able to communicate with everybody.
Yeah, no matter what kind of questions we pop at you, right?
Absolutely. Give me any one. I swear to you, I'll give you an answer.
Well, I have one that's kind of interesting. I really am curious, what actor has inspired you in your career so far?
What actor has inspired me in my career? You know what? I have to say, there's an actor in Atlanta. His name is Jim Sutton. And Jim Sutton, we had worked on the award-winning short that I did called The Tortured, which we did 2.5 years, 3 years ago now, and it was one of the first lead roles that I had, very significant, a lot of crying, emotional, anger, a lot of different character ranges. And he came to me at the end of that shoot, and he goes, and he sits me down and says, listen, Zach, I got to tell you something. I go, what is it? And he goes, you are amazing. I go, oh, you're amazing, too. He goes, no, shut up. Let me tell you what you are. I don't want to hear that I'm amazing because I'm telling you you're amazing. I want to tell you something. Because you just have this spark that happens to you when the actor yells, when the director yells action. You're in the zone, you're in the mode, and what you do with a character is you make it your own. It's not you anymore, it's somebody else. Because you really need to focus on that. And he said, I do this job because it's fun to go on set, pretend to be somebody else, and have a blast with the crew. He goes, you can do this professionally. And he said that to me, like I said, it was like 6 months. At that point, it's probably 6 months into my career. And I